Hello guys, today's April 13th. Haven't been on in quite a while. That is because I haven't been too nice to myself lately, and I put myself in the doghouse over things that I thought that I was too far to be forgiven for. If you guys have been in my shoes, you're going to understand what I'm going to be talking about. I've had to learn to forgive myself in order to openly allow God's forgiveness, and so that I can understand how much He forgives me. I have stumbled so much lately and I felt so out of control. The closer that we get, the more that the pressure we are feeling. So we can let this world make us or we can let it break us. And I was allowing it to break me. I am a strong warrior and I've gone through so much more stuff that an average 50-year-old has ever had to endure in a lifetime. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm not saying that to put anybody down, but I mean, I'm saying it truthfully. The stuff that I have gone through, an average 50-year-old has not. And, but I'm still here. I'm living, I'm breathing. And so through my storms, I've chose to praise God, even more. So I'm totally undeserving of His mercy and grace, but He chose me to be His daughter and for me to be His voice. The bigger the mess that's in our life, He's going to use that as your message. The bigger the test, He's going to use that as your big testimony. And I'm living proof. One cannot exist and thrive on their own terms. And we don't get to make the rules. We just have to live by them. So accountability comes with credibility. And I am knowing and owning up that I am a complete failure in every aspect of my life. I need God now more than ever. And so I walked through fire, but He didn't allow me to be burnt. I felt the heat and I got scared. And I made my life into a big drama fest instead of remembering that I had armor on to put the fire out. And so I never wanted to lose sight, again, over the smallest details of my life. God's plans will always trump ours. He's the way maker, miracle worker, promise keeper, and He is the light in the darkness, and He will fight, and He will fill the gaps in our lives where we feel lonely. Okay, so I want you to understand that He's our best friends. Like, I'm dead serious. If you have a sexual desire, like you have sexual urges to cheat or commit adultery, He's the one that can fulfill that satisfaction that no one else can. And when I say that He can do it, He will do it. He is everything and more. He is able to fulfill the lust. He's able to fill the joy. He's able to feel the loneliness. He's able to feel the comfort when a spouse dies, when you lose a loved one, when you lose a best friend, when you lose your job. He's a perfect companion. And I lost sight of all of that. Okay? And so he is the one that you need to hold on to when you have no one. He is the air in your lungs, and He's the one that completes my life. And so what I was trying to do, I was trying to live my life in sin, thinking for a while, pushing back all the Christian music. Oh, I'm going to go back to secular music. It's okay. I'm just going to listen to this one song. I'm going to listen to this, or I'm going to rock out to that, or I'm just going to push this down. I'm not going to read my Bible today. I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to witness today. I'm just going to, slip up and, say a bad word, or I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. It's going to be okay. And what happens is sin becomes comfortable in your life, and just a little bit goes a long way. Okay. And it's just like oil. A little bit of oil goes a long way. You don't need much of it to spread, right? And it's just like fire or a match. A little bit of fire can spread. And so you have to be very, very careful, especially when it comes to sin and worldly desires and temptations, because it can overtake you so fast. It's easy to fall into, and it's a lot harder to get out of. That is why God says to armor up each and every day. Okay, so this new me is who I thought that I was going to be, and I was torn deep inside. Okay, my very sentiment was being washed up with sand, and it became so thick that I didn't know if it was suffocating me or if I was becoming adapted to it. And so I started listening to things that I thought would heal my very wounds. And so my scars are deep, but I knew in that instance that I was bleeding on the inside out. I was dying, and that there was no way back except to hit rock bottom. And that is when I found him again. And thanks to the wonderful people in my life that helped pray me back up. And if you don't think that prayer isn't powerful, then you are sadly mistaken. Okay. So the more people that pray for you, the stronger the force is. And I mean this. So the hand of God over your life forces you to your feet and makes you stand upright. So you have no way to fight off prayer. No way, no matter how much it is. If you have somebody praying for you and you don't want them to, because you're stubborn and you're like, no, I want to live comfortably. I don't want prayer, because you're going through the hardships. What's the point? God's not hearing. God's not coming back. This end time stuff is just a bunch of garbage. All these lunatics are just talking a bunch of baloney and all this stuff. This stuff ain't really going to happen. I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to wallow in my misery. Well, guess what? I hate to tell you, but the power of prayer is more powerful than your misery. And guess what? Someone out there is praying up you, praying for you, and they are going to get you stood to your feet, and God is going to knock you off yours. He's going to take you off your high horse, and he's going to settle you down and say, listen up, buddy, buckle up, because it's about to get real. I'm going to show you just how powerful I am. And that's exactly what he did to me. He humbled me. He showed me so much in my life. And so you ever ride that ride that, okay, so hold on before. So what happens is you end up going with it, right? You go with this force. And so you become so grateful for it because your eyes end up becoming open. And so have you ever rode that ride, the Galaxy? So it starts spinning and you get sunk to the wall. And you're like the seat, it can slide up and down, and then it just spins faster and faster. And there's no way you can't get out of it. The gravity sucks you back. That's how powerful prayer is. You can't go against it. Just like you can't go against gravity. Gravity does. You can't go against it. Okay, centrifugal force is centrifugal force. Velocity is velocity. Gravity is gravity. It is what it is. You can't stop it. You have to go with it. Okay, and so that's exactly how prayer works. You can't do anything but be forced to do what the gravity of it does. So God intervenes and does his thing. And then that's where you live by faith. You got to have faith, and God will always rescue you when you are drowning. And I am complete and utter living proof. So today, I anointed my home. And I got to tell you a few things that happened. And then I'm going to get into this little bit of a study here. As you see this picture, Jesus on the cross, you can only imagine what today is. We are at Palm Sunday, the most amazing day. So, I anointed my home, and I haven't done it in so long. The enemy has been hardcore after me. Health condition after health condition after health condition. I don't like talking about me because when you talk about the existence of your problems, Satan is therefore able to take hold of it. But I'm going to tell you right now that Satan has no control over my life. None. Okay? He is trampled underfoot, and God's going to destroy him and all his minions. So, I have a brain tumor that I was diagnosed with earlier this year. I also had one when I was 13. And then I was on medication to shrink it. And when I was 16, I went back in. And during this time from age 13 to 18, I ended up being on a medication called the Depo-Provera. And I know a lot of women were on that. Okay, but during that time, I developed a brain tumor, and it was 10 millimeters. And so it caused a lot of health issues with me. And then when I was 18, my first pregnancy that my husband and I had, we had a set of identical twin girls, 96 chromosomes, chromosomal issues. Well, just yesterday, a lawyer reached out to me, which was unexpected. And when I say unexpected, I'm talking about complete unexpected. I'm on my knees, just bawling my eyes out to the Lord, blessing our finances. Lord, help us. And this lawyer reaches out to me, and it was about the depot shot. And with the tumor that I'm having, with the tumors that I had when I was a kid, and with the chromosomal issues that I've had with my pregnancy, it's due to the depot shot. They have pursued to take on my case. There's a lawsuit against them. And now, do I know exactly how long this is going to take or anything? No. I thought, wow, is this justice for what they have done? For all the evil that these people have done, because I have suffered a lot in my little life that I have lived. Or is this a blessing from God? Or what could this be? I'm not counting on anything to happen through this. I just think the timing of everything is just phenomenal. And then, I got blessed with a financial stability this morning, unexpected, by the grace of God. I was very humbled by that. And so things at this moment are looking up, although we did lose our medical insurance due to me working, which I figured was going to happen. But due to the new executive orders that have been put into place, I knew it was going to happen. So I've been preparing myself for that. But I know that God is going to show up and show out. So now, having said all that, I want to delve into this other issues that's going on in this world and what I found amazing. Okay, so yesterday, we could see the full pink moon, right? And the pink moon, and I actually got to see it. It was beautiful. I tried taking better pictures, but that's what I got I didn't get the pink part of it because I didn't have my phone on me, but I did get this part as it started turning different colors. You could still see the pink around the areas as it was turning. But then we seen that the solar eclipse that happened. Okay, and these I'm showing from Hourly Watch. Okay, and I have an extreme point of why I'm showing his stuff. Oh my gosh, this blew my mind. Okay, so March 29th was Nissan 1. That was also the solar eclipse. Okay, as I said, that the sun and moon will be turned into darkness, and the moon will not give its light before the great and terrible day of the Lord. So both of these events had to occur before the rapture of the church, right? Obviously, that was a given. You couldn't just have one event and then boom, it not happen like the rapture happened. Like, you have to read the scripture in its entirety. So we have right now the day of Passover, all right, which April 13th. So we see that the Passover lamb. All right, so now we are going to have what next Sunday is Easter, Resurrection Sunday. Today, Palm Sunday, which we know that Jesus rode in, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest, so on and so forth. This whole week is a very biblical week. We're in high watch time. Of course, we all know we've been in high watch time, but this year more so than anything, especially with the red heifers. And that's something that I want to talk about too, but I want to show you this. Okay, and I don't want to give way to this, but you see the sunspot, like I said. He has the sunspot 4056. This is what I'm going to say. 4056 stuck out to me because that is my house number. And my jaw dropped because the meaning of that is this. The term matic refers to an altar. Okay. Well, my whole family, my side, me, came out of paganism and witchcraft, okay, Wiccanism. I'm adopted out of that, okay, and during my teen years, I still practiced witchcraft. I was dabbling into Christianity and into witchcraft, and I did that till I was about 17 years old, not gonna lie. And so I know the dark side and I know about God, and I still know about how Christians today celebrate paganism today, and they mixed Christianity, because the Christian today, the Christian values today is not based upon the Christian standards that it was on the biblical uh, practices that when Jesus walked the earth. When Jesus walked the earth, it was a complete type of different Christian walk. So, that would be for another study. But anyways, my point is how it talks about the altar. Yes, the altar, the sacrifices of the red heifers, and we know that they have to be sacrificed before they're 4 years old. And they said that none are pure or anything, which I truly have believed that they are going to be sacrificed, that these were lab grown. I don't believe that these were completely only from Texas. But what I did find interesting was these other names: a sacrificial altar, meaning to slaughter or to sacrifice. Okay, and I know that Satan has been coming after me, my household, and things like that for a long time. And the generational curses and stuff with the Freemasonry that has ran through this town and stuff is very heavy here. And like I said, it's very hard for me to explain what I've gone through, and this correlation, this number connection 4056. And I've talked about this before in my previous videos, but this particular time with this Passover timing, Jesus being the sacrificial lamb, and with these red heifers that are, where are they, right? We know that the red heifers are for the Antichrist, okay? And I don't believe that we are even going to be here to witness all that, okay? Because that also signifies their third temple and all the other stuff as their abomination. But one of the red heifers' name was redemption. And so I believe with the redemption, like I said, and me living in Indiana right now, I find it interesting how, like, all these blessings now are falling into place around this exact week. Do you see what I'm saying? Because horrible things have happened to me and my family for months, from health conditions and things like that. And my husband still, he still has to have surgery, and his Crohn's is still not under control, and he still has liver disease, and he still has kidney issues, and he still has to have his gallbladder removed. And then all of his, his medications aren't working. Now all of a sudden we lose insurance. But yet I'm not losing faith. And you know why? Because it's a clear indication with the numbers, with this week being Passover, with the full pink moon, with the fig tree generation coming to an end, with all of these events, our redemption is drawing nigh. We are about to go home. And then we have a massive solar storm that's coming up. Okay. Not to mention that it's going to cause massive earthquakes, massive earthquake activity, volcanic activity, headaches, it's gonna, heart palpitations, just all kinds of things. And when Jesus rose from the grave, what happened? There was a massive earthquake, and those bodies that were in the grave, what did they do? They rose up out of the grave. Skin got back on their bodies. They walked the earth. Like the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we who are alive and remain shall what? Be caught up in the air with him. 1 Corinthians 15:52. In the moment, in the twinkling of an eye, we all shall be changed in the moment, in the twinkling of an eye. I mean, we are right there, folks. Right there. That should give you such encouragement. And now we also have now Easter that falls on the first Sunday after the full moon that occurs on or after the spring equinox this year. The spring equinox falls on March 20th, which Easter is Sunday, April 20th. I mean, this is this coming Sunday, right? And with it being Palm Sunday today. I mean, this is just incredible. Now, I got to show you this. And this is talk. It says, rumor claims Trump will declare martial law on April 20th. What? Now I want to show you this article. Okay, so it says Trump to invoke Insurrection Act of 1807, then declare martial law. No truth behind circulating rumors. Donald Trump, according to rumors circulating online, will announce martial law after invoking the Insurrection Act of 1807 on April 20th. Okay, according to rumors circulating online, okay, by using this act, Trump may send soldiers to the southern border and instruct them to support law enforcement in enforcing domestic policies, asserting that America's sovereignty is under attack. Let's read more. And it says, within 90 days, Trump directed both the Defense and Homeland Security secretaries to hand in a joint report. Oh, where'd it go? Sorry. To hand in a joint report on the state of affairs at the southern border, along with suggestions for additional actions that may be necessary to obtain complete operational control of the southern border, including whether to invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, he specifically said, and I posted a video about it, how he, from his mouth, said that he would impose the purge for a day. 24 to 36 hours, he would allow the purge to happen. And I truly believe at this time is when that would happen. Do I know? No, that is speculation. I'm just stating it would be perfect timing in order for the Antichrist to rise up to do his thing. There has to be some type of chaos. Right now, there's not worldwide chaos. There's chaos in lots of places, but it's not worldwide. And so we have the supernova star. We have all these comets and things that's hitting the earth. So I believe everything that's going to happen, the rapture is the thing that is going to trigger the chaos that's going to, that the Antichrist is going to have to fix. And that is why we see the beast system that has risen up as much as it has. Okay, so anyway, so then the date of the 90-day ultimatum is April 20th. So you guys can Google this on almost anything and you can find it out for yourself. So that is all that I wanted to share with you guys today. Pray over this as always. God bless you guys, and I will see you guys there in the air.